welcome back to another video. Alright, so I think you guys need to watch Bloodhounds. It came out in June 2023, and it has a lot of great fight scenes, great character development, good acting, good writing, and a very good villain as well. So I'll recommend, if you have nothing to watch right now, you should watch Bloodhounds. Give it a try and let me know what you think. It's a Korean drama, by the way. It's about two friends that basically get into the money lending business to confront the rich people who prey on the weak. And basically, the two friends, the main character Kim Dong-woo and Han Woo-jin, are basically opposites, and they meet in this boxing competition. And Kim Dong-woo is more reserved, and he spends most of his time training in boxing because he wants to become a world champion. And he spends the rest of his time helping his mother out at a cafe shop that she is running. And it takes place in 2020 during the C-19, and it actually works pretty well in the favor of the show because we see it impact the characters in the show, and also when they dabble in some criminal activities, it makes a lot more sense for them to be wearing masks as identity concealers, and it's not as unrealistic as seeing characters fighting in the streets and no one is there watching at all. But this way it actually makes more sense because it was during the quarantine, so there aren't as much people outside during the night. Yeah, so as I was saying, we see their friendship develop as the season progresses, which was really nice to see, and it was really good writing in my opinion. And also the comedy was really nice between them, and generally in the show it's kind of subtle and they don't really push it that much out there. So fast forward a little bit, Gun-woo and Han Woo-jin find themselves employed by Mr. Choi, who hired them to be the bodyguards to his adopted granddaughter Yeonju, because she has been investigating this company by the name of Smile Capital, who gives out loans with clauses written in fine print, and they can basically just sabotage the people who take up the loans by destroying the restaurants because they add a lot of interest to pay back on the loan, and they add a certain time limit before they can pay it back. That's what Smile Capital has been doing this whole time. Mr. Choi, on the other hand, is a very moral money giver. He just gives out interest-free loans out of his own money, and there are a lot of likable characters in the show as well. In a way, likable good villains and likable good characters as well. So yeah, and the writers did a good job of adding stakes to the show as the season progresses, as well as a very good villain that was actually menacing for once. And this villain is not just all talk with no action. He actually backs up what he says with action, and he's actually a ruthless villain. So it's not just a pushover that's a one and go villain. He's actually menacing and dangerous in the show. So a little bit in the third of the show, the tensions were definitely rising, and it reaches a pretty shocking climax, and then they pull a time skip, which I also really enjoyed because we can see just how much the climax actually affected the characters and what they have been doing in their own time. And they come back, and it was well written as well. And basically, the show ends in the first season. It starts and ends in the first season. They don't really need to continue it in the second season, but there is a character that I would like to see. But yeah, they could very well end it here, and it wouldn't be a bad season by any means. And I would also rather that than have a show that continues to decline in quality, like The Flash and stuff like that. So yeah, if you have no show to watch right now, I recommend Bloodhounds. It's very fun, very engaging, and definitely well written. And I think the action will definitely keep you hooked on. So yeah.